to Power Yoga with me, Molly. Sorry, I'm just checking that setup. Okay, that's good. So welcome to Power Yoga. So today's class will be like just under an hour, and it's going to be quite strong, a lot of core work, and we're going to have a play around and have a look at some new poses for those that have done previous sessions with me. I'm blabbing. A little bit of housekeeping before we get started. I won't necessarily factor in water breaks, so at any point you get thirsty, just stop and have some water. You might want to have some water by your side. Equipment that you might need, you'll want a mat, you might want a cushion or a blanket, and sometimes a strap, like a yoga strap, is quite useful, or like a resistance band or dressing gown belt, anything really. Anything that you feel uncomfortable doing, or if it hurts or doesn't feel right, just either do the modifications or miss it out. So just always listening to your body, because you will be right. And although I'm pregnant, you might notice that this isn't appropriate for pregnancy. It's not pregnancy yoga. I won't necessarily be doing the full poses. I'll just be talking people through it. So that's just a little bit of housekeeping. Brilliant. So we're going to just get started. I'm just going to quickly check something, because I think someone just messaged. Ooh. No. Okay, that's fine. Perfect. So we are going to start in a comfortable seated position, any way you want. So you can be sitting cross-legged, legs out in front, kneeling, sitting on a cushion, your sofa, just whatever feels good. Perfect. So nice and comfortable. And then when you're ready, if you feel comfy to do so, you can just gently close your eyes, just bringing your awareness to yourself, to your inner self. Sounds very deep. Good. And just gently inhaling in, softly expanding your stomach. And as you exhale, just allow your stomach to release back down, allowing any tension to just leave your body. Inhaling in, and as you draw that breath in, just do a little scan through your body. We want to be sitting nice and evenly on our seat bones, soft knees, and then a lovely long spine that's aligned, nice and neutral. Perfect. And just being mindful and remembering that you are not stuck in this position. At any point you can move, even when you're meditating. Okay? Perfect. And now as you inhale in, just really focus on expanding that stomach, drawing that breath in. And as you exhale, softly releasing. We're connecting with our diaphragm, connecting with our core. Inhaling in, expanding your stomach. And as you exhale, just hug your stomach in softly, hugging the navel in. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, hugging in, drawing in. Beautiful. And now, if you wish to, you're going to take that breath a little bit deeper. So inhaling in maybe for one extra count or two. And really breathing into your stomach, keeping your chest nice and soft. And then as you exhale, softening, drawing the navel back in. Perfect. And with today, because we're going to be looking at strength and core, I want you to attack this session, go into this session with an open mind and just a fun attitude. You're going to have fun, you're going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter if your poses are perfect, that never matters with yoga. They're only perfect if they feel good to you, if they work. And it doesn't matter if it sometimes feels a bit messy, because that is life and that is yoga. Okay? So always keeping an open, positive mind. And you can set any other intention you'd like, but you want that intention to help you, to guide you. So we don't want it to be negative, we want it to be positive. So enjoying trying new poses. Perfect. And just focusing for a moment on that intention as you ground yourself down, preparing for your session. Wonderful. Inhaling in, focusing on that intention. Exhaling, softening down, releasing. Wonderful. And then when we're ready, we're going to very gently open our eyes, coming back to the room. We're going to start to do some gentle stretches. So we're going to be using a lot of back and a lot of core. So we're going to start off by just gently stretching our shoulders. So all we're going to do is just do some shoulder shrugs any way you want. Shrugging the shoulders anyway. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Perfect. And you can pop your hands on the shoulders to feel that movement, or you can keep your hands on your knees. Lovely. Oh, I absolutely love this. I do this shoulder shrug every single session. Just it feels so good. And I do it in my own personal yoga as well. And then when you're ready, we're going to take that shrugging the other way. Oh, always feels a bit weird. Good. Breathing into it. Stretching out. Using this moment just to thank your body, just to give it a lovely little bit of dynamic stretching, softening and opening and releasing your shoulders. Because we want to feel nice and supple before we start tapping in to our core. Perfect. And then we're going to come back to center. Wonderful. So we're going to make our way onto all fours. Wrists stacked under shoulders, knees under hips, and just having soft elbows. We don't want to lock them because that's just preventing the energy. We're getting very stiff, soft elbows. Perfect. And then all we're going to do is some gentle cat-cow. So inhaling, arching the back, taking the gaze up, and then exhaling, rounding the back, hugging the navel in. We're going to flow through this at any speed you want. Just softly hugging that navel in, engaging the core with the exhale. Perfect. And then if you want to really engage that core, you can just take it a little bit deeper. So just hugging in a little bit deeper as you exhale, engaging that core and a little bit of pelvic floor if you fancy doing that as well. Perfect. And then when you're ready, we're going to softly come back to center. And then we're going to just tuck that left toe under. And as we exhale, we're going to stretch that left leg back, pushing through the heels, square hips. And then we're going to lower the toes to the ground, pushing through the heel, a gentle calf stretch. Stretching up. Apparently the dog likes that. Gentle calf stretch. Wonderful. And then bringing your knee back to center, taking it to the other side. And keeping those hips nice and squared as we do that. And then softening down pushing through. Wonderful. It just feels, I never really had tight calves, but I've suddenly, I think being pregnant, I've got quite tight calves now, so this stretch feels really nice. Sometimes you don't feel anything. So we're going to now do a little bit of balance, a little bit of core engagement. So tucking that left toe under, we're going to stretch back through the heel, lifting that leg. And we want to push the sole of the foot like we're pushing it against the wall. And then we're going to lift that opposite arm, the right hand, up as well. Nice and long, engaging that core. Wonderful. And then we're going to lower back to center. And then taking it to the other side. Stretching back, right foot through the heel and then left arm up. And just keeping the gaze nice and soft to the mat. And then releasing. So we're going to spice it up a little bit. So we're going to try doing it on the same side now. And we're going to, again, just attack this with fun, okay? So we're going to, when we're ready, exhale, stretching left leg back. And then engaging that core, you're going to lift that left hand up as well. Feel free to have a laugh. Perfect. And then releasing. And then taking it to the other side. So stretching back right leg, engaging that core, keeping that balance, lifting up that right arm as well. And just try and keep that centered for me. I'm moving over a little bit just because I'm baby. We want to try and keep that centered. Lovely. So we're going to now get moving. So we're going to gently inhaling, tucking toes under. And then as you exhale, bringing the hips up and back, downward facing dog, soft knees. So we want to imagine there's that golden thread attached to our lower back and it's drawing our hips up and back. Lovely. And then if you want to, we're going to just start pedaling through our heels. Nice and soft. Wonderful. Stretching out. Perfect. And then when we're ready, lowering the knees nice and wide to the ground, toes together, exhaling, extended child's pose. Forehead to ground. And then bringing the hands behind the back, interlacing the fingers and stretching through. If you'd like, just increase that stretch. And then releasing. And then coming back up to tabletop. And then tucking toes under, exhaling, downward facing dog again. Pedaling through. Wonderful. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to softly bend the knees and we're going to walk feet to hands or hands to feet, forward fold. Perfect. And then we're going to nice and gently walk our hands up our legs, coming up to Tadasana. So we're going to now heat it up a little bit and get moving a bit more. So when we're ready, we're going to gently inhale, sweeping the hands up. And then we're going to exhale, swan diving forwards, forward fold. And then we're going to step back to a high plank or tabletop. And then we're going to lower down to a cobra. So just lowering down and then inhaling into cobra. And then tucking toes under, we're going to exhale, downward facing dog, pedaling through. Perfect. And then we're going to gently inhale that left foot up and then exhale, drawing it forwards by your hands, inhaling up, high lunge, using something for support if you need. Lovely, good. And then just keeping that focus ahead, we're going to inhale the hands up nice and long, and then exhale, releasing them down to the ground. And then stepping back, downward facing dog, pedaling through. And then we're going to inhale that right foot up, and then exhale, drawing it forwards, by the hands, inhaling up, high lunge. Perfect. Again, getting that focus. Inhaling the hands up, and then exhaling, hands to ground, stepping back, downward facing dog. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to softly roll our shoulders forwards to a high plank, engaging that core, or tabletop if you prefer. And then we're going to flow through this a couple of times. So when you're ready, you're going to exhale from high plank to downward facing dog. Pedaling through. And then flowing through again. Inhaling, rolling shoulders forwards, high plank or tabletop. And then when you're ready, exhaling, downward facing dog. Perfect. Breathing into it. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale forwards, high plank, engaging that core. And then we're going to do a little three-legged high plank, and then we're going to get moving. So you're going to gently lift that left foot up, engaging the core, lowering it down, and then lifting that right foot up, engaging that core. Perfect. And then when you're ready, you're going to lower your knees nice and wide to the ground, toes together, coming down to extended child's pose. Breathing into it. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale back up to tabletop. So we're going to get moving, looking at our main pose of the day. So we're going to just gently exhale, stretching back that left foot. And now you're going to stretch through the toes. So stretching through the toes and then lowering the toes to the ground. You're going to just gently walk those toes back behind your foot. Sorry. There we are. Good. So we're stretching them back. And then you're going to just inhale that left hand up as well. And then if you want to, you're going to lift your chest, drawing that left hand back behind. Gentle back bend. Wonderful. And then we're going to release back down. And then taking it to the other side. So when we're ready, gently stretching through the right toes, long leg, and then lowering it down, walking the right toes back behind, and then inhaling the right hand up and stretching back. Wonderful, good. So strong shoulders, strong core, fabulous. And then softening back down. Perfect. So we're going to now make that a little bit harder. So when you're ready, exhaling, stretching that right foot up, stretching through the toes. You're going to lower that right foot back, and then you're going to inhale that right hand up. And then if you want to make it harder, you're going to bring that right foot up as well, which we have done before. Perfect. And then you're going to gently bring that right hand back behind to the middle of your back, rolling your shoulder back. Perfect, lovely. Engaging that core, holding the left hand firm. Lovely. And then we're going to gently release back down. And then taking it to the other side. I'm like my dog. Taking it to the other side. So stretching through the left toes, stretching through, lowering down. And then when you're ready, inhaling that left hand up. Same again. And then if you want to, bringing the left toes up off the ground, holding that balance. Lovely, good. Pushing into that hand, into your right toes, and then bringing that left hand back behind, opening the back. Wonderful. and then softly releasing. Perfect. And then we're going to tuck the toes under, and as we exhale, we're going to go into downward facing dog, stretching back, and then walking the hands to the feet, or vice versa, coming into forward fold. Wonderful. And then really opening the shoulders, we're going to bring our left hand back behind us, and then our right hand. And then you can just interlace the fingers and stretch back through the hands, opening the shoulders. Wonderful, lovely. So we're really flowing forwards with our chest. Perfect. And then when you're ready, softly releasing. Wonderful. And then we're going to walk ourselves back down to tabletop. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to move on with a bit of that core. So tucking the toes under as we exhale, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Every time we go into this more and more, it feels a little bit easier. We feel a little bit more supple. So we're going to do a little bit more of that core with the downward dog. So when you're ready, as you inhale, lifting that left foot up, and then as you exhale, hugging that knee in to your navel. So it's almost like we're doing crunches in downward dog. So inhaling, left foot up behind, exhaling, drawing in. And you are absolutely welcome to take it further in than me. Perfect, lovely. Keeping the hips nice and high, core engaged. And then placing that left foot down, we're going to take it to the other side. So inhaling, right foot up, exhaling, hugging knee in. Inhaling, right foot up, exhaling, hugging knee in. Perfect. And we're going to flow through a few more times. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, placing that right foot back down. Perfect. And then lowering down to our knees. And then we're going to make our way down onto our side. Any side you want. I've come onto my right hand side. And then you're going to pop your elbow underneath your shoulders. Now, if you want, you can stretch all the way down so you're lying on your side, or you can keep yourself propped up. And then all we're going to do is you're going to bend that knee, and we want to have our hips stacked on top of each other. Perfect. And then flexing through that heel, placing the left hand down, we're going to gently start to bring that leg up and then back down. And you want to keep your core strong and lifted as you're doing this, okay? So we're not collapsing. Perfect, lovely. So this is really good for our strengthening hips and glutes, our core. So lifting and lowering. And what I want you to do as you do this is don't let your foot, your top foot, your left foot in my case, go onto the ground. So we're lowering it just above the ground and then lifting it back up. Wonderful. So we're going to do it for a couple more breaths. Fabulous. Perfect. And then when you're ready, softly releasing, and then we're going to swivel round onto the other side. Okay? So coming down onto our forearm, knee on the ground, core engaged, holding yourself up, hips stacked. And then when you're ready, same again, lifting that leg. So we're just starting to get a little bit of heat building, warming ourselves up. Perfect, engaging that core. Wonderful, lovely. And we're going to do it for a few more breaths, keeping yourself lifted. Good. And then when we're ready, softly releasing. And then making our way up, back up to tabletop. So feeling a little bit more awake, quite connected. So when we're ready, we're going to just walk our feet back, coming back into a high plank. And then all we're going to do is we're going to walk that left foot to the side our right foot. And then we're going to swivel round onto the side of the foot. And then we're going to now place that top foot back behind. And then we're going to inhale that right hand up and then stretching it back, pushing into that left hand, really engaging the shoulders and the core. Lovely. And then softly releasing back down. Sorry, I came out that bit sooner than I planned. Softly releasing back down. So we're going to take that to the other side. So this is us building up to our main pose, which is called wild thing. Okay? And this is hard, it's strong. So we're going to have fun with it. So same again, and in a weird way, the way that I'm getting you to go into it just now is actually harder than how you normally do it. But I want to get us doing this, so that you know what you're doing, you know how it feels. So when we're ready, same again, stepping back into a high plank. And then bringing that right foot next to the left, and then swiveling onto the side of your foot, coming into the side plank, lifting that top foot up and back behind, and then inhaling, opening that right hand up behind, stretching through, pushing up with the hips, opening your heart, feeling the strength, and then softly releasing back down. Perfect. Lowering the knees nice and wide, stretching back. Extend a child's pose. Releasing for a couple of breaths. Wonderful. Perfect. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way back up to kneeling. So if your wrists feel a bit sore, you're going to just gently do some circling of your wrists and do some massaging. Call this wrist therapy in yoga. So just softening and releasing the wrists. And you don't want to do that if you're someone who suffers from carpal tunnel syndrome or you get sore wrists. If it hurts, don't go into it. And you can always do the one where you're on your knees, okay? So when we're ready, we're going to come into tabletop, and then we're going to inhale in. And as we exhale, bring the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Wonderful, stretching through. Now, when you're ready, you're going to inhale that left foot up to the sky. And then you're going to start to walk it back, drawing it back as if it's going behind you. Okay, and then push that hip up, engaging that core. And then release that left foot back down. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So when we're ready, inhaling that right foot up, and then same again, drawing it back, pushing that hip up, staying strong in your arms and your legs. Perfect. And you'll feel how your standing foot, your left foot, wants to pivot round. And then releasing the right foot back down. And then softly, gently lowering to the knees, walking hands to knees into kneeling, and then just interlacing the hands behind, inhaling, gentle back bend, softening. So we're going to come into that again. Now I'm going to move over a little bit, otherwise I'm going to hit my wall. Sorry. I thought I had enough space. Perfect. So we're going to go into that again, taking it a bit further, only if you want to. So if this feels too much, you can just do what we have been doing on your knees, okay? Or you can go into downward dog and then stay where we were the last time. So when we're ready, tucking the toes under. As we exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog, pedaling through. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale that left foot up, and then you're going to stretch it back behind you, and you're going to pivot on that right foot. And then if you feel that left foot going on the ground, you're going to lower it and bring that left arm up as well, okay? So this is wild thing. Soaring those hips up, engaging the core. And then we're going to lower that left hand back down, bring the left leg back over, downward facing dog. And then lowering the knees to the ground, walking hands to knees, interlacing fingers, inhaling, arching the back, lifting the gaze and the heart center up, and then releasing. And then we're going to take it to the other side. And this is our final. So we're heading into the stretch. And again, just listen to your body. And if this feels too much, do not do it, okay? So when we're ready, tucking toes under, inhaling in. As we exhale, bringing the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then again, if it feels okay, we're going to inhale that right foot up to the sky, and then you're going to start to draw it behind you, pivoting that left foot round, toes to face the front. Lowering that right foot on the ground, and then inhaling that right hand up, lifting those hips up, engaging your glutes, engaging that right left hand, lifting the chest, and then pivoting the right hand back down and bringing the right hand back over, downward facing dog. Perfect. And then lowering the knees nice and wide, toes together, extended child's pose. Soften those wrists. Staying here for a couple of breaths. And then walking the hands to the knees. Perfect. And then just gently circling those wrists, massaging them, feeling that strength. We're going to head into our cool down. So just gently releasing the wrists of any tension. And wild thing's quite hard, so it's everything. It's strength, it's balance, it's back bend. So we do it very gently, listening to our bodies. And whenever I do it, I just want to have fun, okay? So you're just seeing where you go with it and listening to your body. That's the first time we've done that pose. So you just be very pleased with wherever you were as you did it. So we're going to gently make our way into an easy seated position. And we're going to just gently stretch our legs out nice and wide. Sorry, I forgot what I was doing then. Nice and wide as you want. Keeping the knees not hyperflexed, just push through your heels so your legs are engaged. And then lengthening through your back. And then we're going to inhale up tall. And then as we exhale, softly walk your hands forward, folding forwards, forward bend. And if you want, you can lower to your elbows, or you can bring your hands to your feet, whatever calls to you. But we don't want to pull, okay? So we're softly folding. And just allowing yourself to start to release and unwind and relax after that pose and that strength. Perfect. And then we're going to softly release with our hands, coming back up to center. Wonderful. And then we're going to gently bring our feet in together to bound angle, cobbler's pose. And then you can take a hold of your toes, inhaling up nice and tall. As you exhale, softly fold forwards, not forcing anything. Very gentle, we're just releasing the hips, releasing the glutes. Wonderful. Just unfurling and allowing that breath to return to normal. Focus on that breath, inhaling in, exhaling, softening. And then when we're ready, gently coming back up to center. Perfect. And then we're going to just gently finish off with a little back stretch. So you're going to start to make your way onto your back, bending your knees, releasing onto your back, softening with your hips. Getting nice and comfy. Wonderful. And then just allowing your arms to relax out by your side. Palms facing up if that feels okay. And then just gently allowing your knees to softly rock side to side, releasing any tension. We're gently massaging our stomach and our hips and our lower back. And then the next time your knees come onto the right, you're going to allow them to lie there, and you're going to take your gaze over your left shoulder. And the closer your arms are to your feet, the less of a stretch. If your arms are up by your shoulders, parallel to your shoulders, it's a little bit more of a stretch. We want to keep those shoulders relaxed in the ground. Perfect. Softening down. And then when you're ready, drawing the knees back up to the center and then releasing them to the left, taking the gaze over your right shoulder, releasing down, and just taking this moment to appreciate everything your body has done for you. And then when we're ready, softly drawing the knees back up to center. And then just hugging those knees in, taking them nice and wide. You're going to just gently take a hold of your big toe with your pinky and your thumb. So baby pose, happy baby pose, sorry. And then we're going to just gently rock side to side, kicking with our feet. Stretching out, so massaging the back, releasing the hips. Wonderful. And then softening down, heading into our Shavasana. So you can stretch your legs out to the corners of your mat, keeping your hands up, facing up, shoulders relaxed. Coming into Shavasana. And then if that feels uncomfy on your back, you can bend your knees and have your feet on the ground, or you can come up to seated. But softly releasing into the ground. Inhaling in, exhaling, letting go of any tension. And gently closing your eyes if that feels okay for you. Perfect. Releasing down, softening down into the ground. And as you inhale in, drawing that breath all the way through your body. As you exhale, soften down into the all-receiving earth. Inhaling in, drawing that prana, that breath, all the way down to your feet, the tips of your toes, your heels, your ankles. Exhaling, softening and releasing with your feet. And allowing that relaxation to softly travel up through your calves and your shins, your knees, your quads, your hamstrings. Feeling gently your body releasing and letting go. Inhaling in, and as you exhale, allow your legs and your feet to just melt into the ground, gaining heaviness, gaining weight, and just releasing down. And now as we inhale in, you're going to draw that breath down to your glutes, your hips, your stomach. As you exhale, release your glutes, release your hips, release your stomach. And allow that relaxation to travel up through your back, through your shoulders, up into your chest and through your sternum. Feeling the whole of your torso release down. Feeling your back and your shoulders let go of any tension and just relax into the ground. And now as we inhale in, drawing that breath all the way down to our fingers, our palms of our hands, our wrists. And as you exhale, just release any tension in your fingers, the palms of your hands, your wrists, allowing your knuckles to just drag the tops of your hands down into the ground. And feeling that gentle stretch, that release, traveling up through your forearm, your elbow, your upper arm. And just feeling your arms melt into the all-receiving earth. And then feeling that relaxation traveling up into your shoulders. Feeling your shoulders release down into the ground. Allowing your chest to gently lift. Perfect. And now finally, as we inhale in, allow that awareness to travel to our jaw, our head, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our forehead. And as you exhale, just release any tension from the day, from your face and your jaw. Softening and opening and receiving. Nice and neutral, just allowing the energy from the universe to travel into you. And finally, with one final exhalation, allow the back of your head to release down a little bit heavier into the ground. You're allowing the earth and gravity to hold you. And as you're lying in Shavasana, feeling a little bit warm maybe, and nice and relaxed, you're going to stay here for a few more moments, releasing down. Now I'm going to go nice and quiet, just so that you can focus on it. Perfect. And then when we're ready, we're going to slowly start to bring our awareness back to our environment, to ourselves. So any way you want, is completely personal. You're going to start to wriggle your fingers and wriggle your toes, maybe circling your wrists, circling your ankles. You might want to have a nice yawn. You might want to stretch through your arms, whatever calls to you to wake up and come back. And then when we're ready, you're going to softly hug your knees into your chest, giving yourself a big hug lying on your back. And you're going to gently rock side to side, massaging your lower back, taking this moment to appreciate how strong and beautiful you and your body, your mind and your body is. Feeling that strength that you had in those poses that were challenging. And then any way you want, rocking or rolling, you're going to make your way up to a seated position. And then we're going to just finish off with our little namaste. Perfect. So when we're nice and comfy and seated, we're just going to bring our hands to our heart center. And you can join in if you want, or you can watch. Bringing our hands up to our third eye center for kind thoughts, down to our mouths for kind words, and then down to our hearts for kind feelings. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for Power Yoga. I hope you're feeling nice and energized and strong after that session, and have a lovely rest of the week.